what's up, y'all? Yeah, it's Twine here. I'm pretty much making this video in response to a comment that I made on the Nicholas Irving video about where he was asked about where did all these mass shootings come from, and within it, I pretty much said that a lot of these mass shootings have a lot to do with sexual and relationship frustrations. And I also went on to say that if most of the dudes that carry out those sad acts, they wouldn't be doing that if they had a slew of beautiful women actually like chasing them. And that's really what it is. And one comment has said like it's sort of crazy too and stuff, even with serial killers, where they actually like they pretty much like actually go around and kill people and be in relationships, and they're actually getting cooperation from women. But even with that, that's where the relationship frustration comes in at, because there's a whole lot of serial killers that who actually were in relationships because they know how to mask a lot of their mental illness. And it's sort of crazy because even going back to even talking about like with Ted Bundy was engaged to a woman, but he was frustrated with his ex that who had one time dumped him and looked over him. And as a process, believe it or not, he actually went after most of his victims, actually favored his ex a lot. Because like one thing you gotta keep in mind is that these type of dudes that go out here and do this, they have issues with rejection. They have a whole lot of issues with like even just getting rejected once, even if they had a beautiful girlfriend. Some of these dudes go off the cliff if they just go through a breakup, knowing that they can replace them because they have this attitude of, okay, this beautiful woman wants me, or these beautiful women want me, but I want this specific one. It's almost kind of like an irrational, emotional kind of femininity. It's sort of kind of crazy that way because, you kind of see that a lot in women, where women will be like, okay, there's a lot of good men that want me, but I want this specific one. And a lot of these dudes are really, whenever I look at it, they're kind of like females trapped inside of a male's body. And it's like they have this irrational, emotional response to a lot of disappointment. And part of being a man, especially today, is dealing with disappointment properly, because you're going to be disappointed. You're going to be ran through the ringer. I don't know who the heck told you that life was going to be easy, that everything was just going to go your way all the time. Like, life is a series of problem solving, and you as a man was chosen in life to fix these problems in your own life, in society. You're supposed to be a problem solver. Going back to even with our ancestors, going to imagine okay, you're hunting, but then there's a predator, there's a lion, there's a tiger, and it's been threatening you, it's been killing people in the village. Eventually, you got tired of running, you got tired of picking up the camp and moving somewhere else. Eventually, a man said, you know what, I'm going to use my spear and I'm going to fight this. Or better yet, I'm going to get the hunters together and we're going to corner this tiger or this predator that's threatening us, and we're going to actually kill it. That's what's in your blood, is that sense of being a problem solver. And a lot of these guys that go straight to a gun and go straight to criminality, these are dudes that who literally have failed all sense of proper society, because you as a man, you have to be smart enough to work within the laws to be able to fix issues in your life. And you can't always go towards violence, you can't always go towards a gun, you can't go towards forcing a person to do something that they don't want to do. And a lot of these guys, they get frustrated. And just like in my last video where I was basically telling about your, about like when you build yourself up, you will be tested the most. That's when you're tested the most. I don't know why the heck people didn't tell people this, but for any adult, when you get your degree, when you get more money, when you get your body together, you're going to be tested literally the most, from especially in life and especially in the dating world. As a man, you're going to more than be tested by women. And you'll probably be thinking like, oh man, all I gotta do is just get six-pack abs and I will get instant cooperation. No, you won't. All I gotta do is just make six figures and I'm gonna get instant cooperation. No, you won't. All I gotta do is just get clout and fame and I'll get instant cooperation. No, you still won't. I'm just trying to tell you that. You will still face adversity. And remember, even in the video, the last video that I had told, you have to be prepared to stand on your true worth. You have to stand behind all that you worked for. And it's a very simple way to actually convey that. All it is just leaving the situation or ignoring the situation. Like I said, a lot of these dudes are frustrated, especially in dating. And I'm telling you, like, if you're listening to this or any type of dude, don't take it personal. A lot of times, in my experience, I remember, I'm gonna give you an example. When, in my experience of dating, I remember I was like talking to this one girl on campus, and I had approached her, talked to her. It was mostly cold approach. I approached her, just said like, yeah, what's up, you know, how's about like, you know, we probably get a bite to eat, exchange numbers or something. She looked me dead in my eye and she was like, no. I was like, okay. What was real funny is that a couple months later, about like 3 weeks later, like, no, it wasn't like 3 weeks, it was about like 3 months later, I kept bumping into her and seeing her, but I wasn't saying hi or anything. During that time, though, I still stayed, you know, in my mask. I'm still dressing well, still wearing cologne, still looking good. Eventually, she approached me after 3 months, said, hey, how's it been going? And, you know, and I was just like, yeah, it's going good. It's all, you know. Eventually, she was like, hey, you know, like, how would you like to study together or something, exchange numbers? And after that, we was pretty much locked in. When we were together, she told me, she said, like, you know, I actually like the way that you handled me, you know, not talking to you. And then, you know, throughout those 3 months, I kept seeing you and I kept seeing, like, well, you know, he does dress well, you do carry yourself well. And believe it or not, most women are not made, unless if they're drunk or high or just a straight up, you know, just, you know, jump off of something. They're not going to just jump 100% for joy at you, no matter what you got. You have to be patient, because she's going to watch you. She's going to, because women are very sneaky that way. She told me, she was like, I was just looking at you all the time. I was wondering, like, dang, he ain't going to approach me again? I was like, no, I'm not. You told me you didn't want nothing to do with me, and I left it at that. That was back when I was kind of inexperienced, but it was kind of funny, though. I probably would have actually went at it a different way. I probably would have waited at least 2-3 weeks and then probably try to shoot my shot again, or at least try to talk to her again. Because I kind of learned how to sophisticate that. But that's one thing that I want you guys to pretty much, you know, like, keep in mind is, like, be patient. A lot of times you're going to run into women that who's, you know, you're going to be probably texting them and they're going to pretty much be playing around with the text and probably text you back after about like 30 minutes to an hour. Say they're going to call and they don't and whatever. I have a 24-hour rule, just like what Dan Pena said, where he said, who's like a true OG and stuff, you know, like, if you don't answer me back within 24 hours, I'm not going to entertain anything that comes in after that. Like I said, I sophisticated the whole thing to where I found out after at least about 2 to 3 weeks, like, they pretty much get the picture. And it's kind of funny too, because I have another story with that, where I remember I was talking to this one girl and she was just like, dang, like, we were talking kind of fairly consistent, and then she didn't answer back none for the whole 24 hours. So I was like, fuck it. 3 weeks later, I just text her. She texts me back. She called me. We talked. And it's sort of funny too, because when you do that, it's like they're 100% cooperative. I was like, yo, what you doing tomorrow? She was like, I ain't doing nothing. I was like, well, let me see you then. Let me slide through. We linked up, hung out. Chemistry was real good. Literally about 5 days later, we pretty much was locked in. Because when a woman sees that you prove your worth to a woman by not entertaining her, because you gotta understand that a lot of these women subconsciously have abandonment issues, real talk. A lot of these women subconsciously actually have abandonment issues. And when you abandon a woman, or when you stop talking to a woman, her mind will start to wonder, what is he doing? Where is he at? Who is he talking to? He looks the way he looks. He got that money. I know he just ain't out here just, living in monk mode. They're wondering. Then when you hit them back up, they're going to be more cooperative. They're going to be like, well, I really didn't text them back then, because they know what the heck they undid. The only way for you to show your worth in the dating market is to not entertain the nonsense, to literally put them in time out. That's the only way. You have to put them in time out, because most of these women are like children and they respond to childlike things. You actually just don't entertain it. Don't answer her calls, don't answer her texts. If she wants to see you, you come up with an excuse, and you have to put her in at least 2 weeks. You have to be patient enough and strong enough and not thirsty enough to be chasing a woman for the whole 3 weeks. Hopefully you got a whole rotation going, and that you're actually able to wait out those 2-3 weeks. Hopefully. If you just straight up dry as heck, then be as strong as you can and keep building, keep swiping, keep hollering, just keep doing that. Yeah. I know we had just got off into sexual and relationship frustrations, and then we just went off into this, but yeah, I'm pretty much new to this, and I'll try to get much more better with my formations. Well, with my, not formations, but I don't know what the heck you'll call it. But anyway, yeah, peace. There's another video.